welcome back to my channel. My name is Ray and we are here to jump into episode 6 of Desire, the series. So, last episode, what happened? We got a little bit more information about why Huang is obsessed with Xing Xiaoyu and because they knew each other when they were kids, etc., etc. We also had him, well, I guess that was the previous episode. Sorry, these episodes are kind of blending because I feel like some story points are being repeated a little bit. But anyway, last episode we had Huang enter into his rut, and he went to his hotel to kind of go through it, and with his little stupid ass chains. Them beauty chains that weren't holding nothing back. It was literally just there for the aesthetic. Cuffs would have been better, but whatever. Obviously Xing Xiaoyu has no idea, so he's like losing his mind. He confronts Shenwen, and there was like a whole thing, and they punch each other in a very goofy looking fight. Yeah, there was a whole thing. And then now he's thinking that Shenwen has kidnapped Huang because he found out he was a spy and is having a bunch of trains run on this man. Like, sir? With a bunch of alphas, random alphas. So, goodness, we don't know what's going to happen in this episode, I guess. Meanwhile, Shenwen has at least shown some concern. I don't want to say like it's the first time. He's previously shown actual concern and interest in Gaotu. It's clear that he likes Gaotu, but he just doesn't know how to express that in a healthy and appropriate manner. But last episode, Gaotu got in the middle of the two alphas, posturing or whatever. And their pheromones made him collapse because he has, not only is he an Omega, but he's an Omega with a sensitive gland situation because of his years-long abuse of suppressants, right? So he went to the hospital, and Shenwen finally got confronted by Gaotu's doctor a little bit, not fully. So he doesn't know that, Gaotu is an Omega yet, but he knows that he actually is legitimately sick, that he's not just taking time off from work to be with his Omega. Like no, he has legitimate medical issues, man. Anyway, so that happened. Maybe we'll get some story progression from those two this episode. One can only hope. One can only hope. So, I don't know what we got in store, but, I'm here for it. So, let's jump into the latest episode of Desire. Let's go.
你总结得很好，下次不要再总结了。老板心情不好，小心被连坐。我看到一个跟踪目标，
要是能顺手弄死沈文朗，我再给你多1个亿。
Not
盛总
planning on
我
his
是侦
murder,
探，不是杀手。
right? Like I ain't an
不管用什么
assassin,
方法，
sir.
一定要把他带回来。
放心吧。
Well, let's see this happen. Were they expecting him to order somebody else to get him? Because I feel like they probably weren't expecting something like that. It's gotta be like, ooh, what the fuck? Oh no, he's smiling in the mirror. He's gonna turn around looking.
别怕，是盛总让我来的。
Give this man an Oscar, y'all. How long is this gonna go on, y'all? Like, how many episodes do you think?
盛先生，
The show has about 16 episodes.
你救我回家。
This about this. We
这里不是说话的
getting
地
close
方。
to the time where
走，
we need to actually
我们先离开。
say the truth
可我
about
怎么
what's
知道
actually happening.
你不是在骗我？
盛总，解救对象让我亲自和你去谈。
The tear. The single tear. Oh my god.
你们到哪儿了？
一会儿就到了，下去吧。我们到了。
Alright, how's he gonna play this? Is he gonna blame him for what he's been through? Or in the secretary, etc.? God. This is like low-key kind of insulting to actual assault victims. Like low-key a little bit. I mean, I don't put it past Huang because, you know, he's psychotic, but you know, he's off his literal rocker, but at the same time,
回家。不要怕，
he
是
is
我。
playing this up, y'all. This is terrible.
盛先生，
是我。
Like, what if he actually murders Shenwan? Like,
是我。
what if he loses it
后来请
and
你回家了。
kills that man?
真的是你吗？
I mean, I guess he doesn't really care. Huang probably doesn't
没有
care
错吗？
that much.
是我。有事你就叫我。
Xing, you don't deserve this. He's actually a relatively good person. Like, he has a couple of moments, but for the most part, he's a good guy. He does not deserve this. Oh, he's losing his shit, bro. Like, yo, he could just go buy a gun and just run up on Shenwan Lan. Like, that's how angry he is at this. Because if he's taking this at face value, he just found out that one of his business rivals, who he don't even like anyway, just ordered the actual assault of his lover. Not just like that's crazy. That's the kind of shit that gets somebody killed, bro. But of course, Huang doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about that. Oh well, collateral damage, I guess. Alright.
会好的。
We're not gonna put no bandages on or nothing?
别怕，都过去了。
盛先生，你是不是很想要？都给你，好不好？
What's he gonna say? Because I feel like all the stuff that he's doing to him financially and stuff like that, playing around with the business stuff, I feel like the ultimate goal is to test how important he is to Xing Xiaoyu. Is he more important to him than his father's research, right? Is he more important to him than the business, right? Because I think in his mind, in Huang's mind, ultimately, you know, even if he ruins this man's business, he got enough money to take care of him. So it's whatever, you know, like it doesn't matter to him. It's whatever. So, you know, he's not thinking about like, is this going to actually, me playing around with him and his father's life is actually going to alienate him from me, because that doesn't compute for him, right? But so that's why I think he's doing all this stuff. He also like, and then the secondary reason is that he wants to isolate Xing Xiaoyu so that Xiaoyu only has him to rely on. He doesn't have his family or his money or anything like that. He only has Huang. He's cornering him both financially and personally and emotionally. So, you know, pretty sure that's his goal.
你不要吗？
先别想这些了，你还有我。
This man is doing his best. He does not deserve this. Is this man always ready for a teardrop? Just teardrops on deck.
你不用特地在家陪着我的，我一个人可以的。
I'm gonna say something.
你一个人在家，
I can't
放心。
100% feel like
为什么？
invested in this romance
因为很喜欢。
because the person that he likes is not real. He doesn't like him. He likes this facsimile of an Omega. He's not actually getting to know the real Huang, so I can't feel that particularly interested in like them from a romantic sense. I mean, you know, like I guess from chemistry sense maybe, but like I don't know. You guys feel the same way? I feel like you know, cuz he's not falling in love with anything that's real. Like I need him to find out something is shady about this man soon. So that he can actually start to get to know the real him and fall in love with that version of him, you know? Not that up on the shelf. All right, sir. This is a
众所周
graduation.
知，我讨厌 Omega， 但花勇是唯一一个能引起我兴趣的。
Oh yeah, he heard that whole conversation, that fake conversation. Now he's feeling some kind of way. He's like, oh, this is about me. He can fall in love with Omegas. I'm just not the one he wants. Oh god, why are we putting Gaotu through this?
你的脸
不小心蹭的，
还疼不疼？
不疼。
Did he go and beat up Shinmenlan?
今天怎么肯上笑脸？
因为盛先生挂彩的样子很可爱。
I bet he does.
嗯，
Don't.
很可爱。
好友，
Like, I need them to reveal the truth really soon so I could actually be invested in them, like, more. Like, I guess I'm invested in the, you know, subterfuge of it all. But that's more about Hua Young's character than about their romance, you know?
你以后别再跟别人打架了。因为我也很喜欢你。
Alright. Oh. What was that? Did that cut not imply that it's the next day? But Gaotu is literally in the same place? That's what a cut like that, that's what a time lapse like that implies, that we are now in the next morning. But when we cut here, it's the same as yesterday. Ooh, that was a little weird. Why didn't they just continue this scene earlier and then go back to them on the couch and then the time lapse to the next morning?
沈总，
你就不能找个像样的地方住吗？
您怎么会来这儿？
He has to pay for his sister's, you know,
但这里的路太窄
hospital
了，
bills
车停
and
在
his own.
我走路进来的。
这不是您适合来的地方。
你一个人住？
啊，
Not him being pleased. All right, sir.
我发你的薪水很少吗？干嘛住这种连狗都不带的地方？
I'm paying for my sister's
公司
hospital
放我的薪水很
bills.
高，是我自己要用钱的地方比较多，
知道用钱的地方多，
行吗？
随便。
What? That's bien. Sorry, every time I hear that now, I think about The Untamed. When the name of his sword. I mean, what's his name? Fucking hell. What is his name? Why can't I think of his name? I could think of Xiao Zhan's name. Oh, I'm so terrible with names, you guys. Oh my god. Wei Wuxian. Right? I think that was it. Oh god.
错，
您怎么突然来我家上班？
花勇他好不好跟你有什么关系？
Oh yeah, because
是
he
你这么
thinks
关
that
心
he's
他吗？
attracted to omegas. Oh god.
抱歉，确实和我没关系。
一天到晚不是忙着 F Omega，
Yeah, see, here we go.
就是忙着管别人家的闲事。先管好你自己吧，别再犯报表多一位数都没发觉的低级错误。
All right. We're dragging it.
您说的
That happened once like 5 weeks ago, sir.
您还有事吗？时间不早了，没别的事的话，
Let's stop bringing that up.
你赶我走？你以为我喜欢待在这破地方是
Not
不
the
是？
bug on the...
一股 Omega 带过的臭味，是爱带谁带？
Can't have one scene without him throwing a little omega slur in there. God. Can he just go see a therapist and learn how to, you know, process his emotions properly? Yeah, sir, we know why. Yeah, yada yada. God. And here you
你干
go.
什么啊？串我家门干嘛？你有毛病啊！
抱歉，不小心撞的。
哎，盛总，您这次的易感期也快到了吗？
All right.
就这几天了。
您是高阶 Alpha，按道理来说，这种情况应该很少见。如果是 Omega 的话，我就要怀疑是不是 Alpha 对您使用针对性引诱信息素，导致了。
That's because that's exactly what's happening, sir.
被动发热。不过您是 S 级 Alpha， 不符合先决条件，所以呢，很有可能是因为工作压力太大，导致了一过性的信息素紊乱。盛总，您还年轻，来日方长。
But if
您在
we're
工作
being
的同
honest,
时，
okay, sorry to pause so soon after that. If we're being honest and he's hearing something from his doctor about like something unusual going on with his biology, his first like thought must be, I need to get checked out because my dad has gland cancer, like pheromone gland cancer, and he's at risk because that kind of cancer is generally often hereditary. Like he's got to have probably a more vigilant regimen when it comes to his, you know, medical status than others, simply because his dad can, you know, could have passed on something to him just genetically, right? Like he's got to be worried.
也要注意保重身体。
谢谢王医生，我知道了。
哦，对了，盛总，我再多说一句，因为您是 S 级 Alpha， 病人的身体呢现在还很虚弱，受不了 Alpha 的气味。为了避免他被动发热受到2次伤害，盛总您在易感期还是应该和病人适当的保持距离。这样吧，我再给您开几次上次给你开的那种 Omega 安抚信息素喷雾，这样您在易感期的时候也不至于这么难熬。
好，谢谢。
不仅可以提高 HS 在制药行业里的地位，也可以为 HS 集团拓展出一个巨大的收入来源。
Okay. But is he not about to like fuck up the gland cancer treatment study with the new list of researchers and about to try and poach the talent?
不要带着肮脏的 Omega 气味靠近我，臭死我！众所周知，我讨厌 Omega， 但花勇是唯一一个能引起我
Not
兴
us
趣。
getting a flashback to this twice
他的
in the
信息
same
素味道和他
episode.
本人一样。虽然
The way
平
we
时
didn't
淡
even
淡
need that scene. We
但
could
特殊
have
时期
just earlier.
却
We
出
could
人
have
意
just
料
had
的
it
热
here.
情。这样， 第一次那晚，他好像有些发烧。
And then we wouldn't have had the weird moment where it was nighttime. The transition said that it's the next day, and then we went back to the same scene from the day before.
不如
We
你来
just
猜
cut
猜，
that scene or combined it together.
那晚他在我身边，哭着喊了谁的名字？
He's really quitting.
沈总恐怕会更加焦头烂额。
Not
哎呀，
even
这老同学就是不一样，
decide
只要
to
沈总一个
stay
眼
just because of this
神，
one
最高秘书
conversation.
立马就知道该接什么话。难怪咱们秘书处的同事啊都在说，
Well, at least somebody's giving him some positive affirmations today. He's gonna put it in his drawer. Because he feels like Shimonlan needs him.
再晚点吧。
Oh, he's gonna rip it. I thought he was gonna like just fold it, put it in an envelope, and sit it to the side. I feel like we're gonna get a point where he finally does quit, though.
一杆气不回家是坏习惯，得改。
All right, what you gonna do to train him up to do what you want? I mean, he literally only stayed out because he thought his rut would harm you because you're pretending to be an Omega with a disorder, sir.
盛先生，你回来了。
想我没有？
盛先生，你睡着了吗？
怎么了？
你是不是觉得我很脏啊？
你别总是胡思乱想。不早了，赶紧睡吧。
Just say you weren't with another Omega. You were, using the doctor prescribed sprays or whatever to help you. And that you stayed away because was injured. Oh, Lord. Ooh, not. Ooh. The manipulation, y'all. Oh, here we go. The way that there's a whole ass fucking bright spotlight on him is killing me. Turn the lights off! It's my biggest pet peeve with shows, low key. That little bit of light did nothing to change the brightness in the room. I know suspension of disbelief, but that's so funny because I was just talking about how it's so bright in here. Now, is he actually having a medical issue? Because we know that now we know that he does actually have a gland issue.
喂，医生，花勇突然昏迷了，信息素溢出的很严重，我该怎么办？
盛总，你冷静一下，我提前有配好的缓解剂，家里面就应该有，你找一下，注射型的一个小瓶子。
What if he gets injected with this? Like when he's not an Omega, is he going to be able to regulate that medication that is not for him? Or maybe the doctor is paid for by him.
你先给他打缓解剂，打完之后他会好很多，但是要去趟医院。
But it's his
今
doctor.
天我除地值班，我让他在急诊室等你们。这个情况恐怕得住院。
So he knows that, man. Then again, maybe he's rich enough for that not to matter. But I feel like giving him drugs when he's not an actual Omega is super dangerous. All right, episode 6. It was good. It was good. I was fine with that episode. I do think that there's some scenes that are slower than they need to be. And it's all due to editing. I think some sharper editing would work better. But, you know, hey, I'm not expecting, I guess, like super professionalism from this, you know, from this show. So fair enough. That one that had the time lapse really bothered me. That one was one that definitely needed to be different. But anyway, let's not talk about the editing anymore. Let's talk about the story. So we have, I don't know, I feel like we're spinning our wheels a little bit with Gaotu and Shyamalan. No, I think from Shyamalan's side, we're starting to see him realize that he doesn't actually know a lot about Gaotu's personal life and home life. And he's slowly starting to discover like his actual challenges, you know, as a human being, and actually showing genuine care. Now, if only he could show that genuine care in such a way that Gaotu can see it and hear it, then we'd be going somewhere. But right now, it's just, at least the audience now can see, you know, him like starting to consider Gaotu's feelings and state of mind and his physical health at the very least, you know. I think it's going to be a long road before we get him finally being honest about his emotions about Gaotu, being in love with this man. It's going to be a while. And we're not going to get any HR sessions about any sensitivity classes with him. I've resigned myself to the fact that that's not going to happen. But maybe bare minimum, we can get him, like, you know, showing actual affection to Gaotu in front of Gaotu so that, you know, he can see it. What else? Yeah, Gaotu decided not to quit, which is fine. I mean, we kind of knew he wasn't. Like, it's too early for him to actually quit. But I think that's coming. I think we're going to get it, which is why I thought that he was going to fold the letter and keep it in his drawer to pull out at any time when he finally has enough. But, because now you got to rewrite that, because it's going to happen. So, now he's going to have to write it all over again. Maybe he has the draft saved on his laptop. So all he has to do is print it out and sign it. So, maybe. You know, fair enough. We also got increased pressure on Shyamalan's business from Sheng Xiaoyu as obvious revenge for the perceived, you know, violation of Huang. You know, more there, I'm sure. I don't know if Shyamalan is that worried because he knows this is all part of Huayang's plan. I just don't know if Huayang actually cares enough to, like, help him if the business is ruined. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's so tough because there's some moments where I'm like, Huayang, if you could have a best friend, it would be Shyamalan, and you need to appreciate that. But at the same time, I'm like, the power imbalance is so strong that I don't know if it's possible for them to actually be friends, you know? Like, it's the closest equivalent he has to a friend, but he also is still, like, working for him. Under threat, you know? There's implied threat there. So, And I don't know if Huang feels that much affection for Shenlan to like actually feel bad about his plan ruining his business. Like, obviously from his mindset, he's probably thinking, of course, you should be giving everything to me, including your own business reputation. The only thing that's important is me and my desires. So but maybe he's the kind of leader who wants to actually take care of people, of his subordinates. So maybe we'll actually see him, helping Shenlan recover after this. Yeah, because Xing Xiaoyu is on the warpath, so what is he going to do if Xing Xiaoyu does something fucking crazy? He also, is now letting this man inject him with medicine that he may not need. Like I said, maybe he paid off Xing Xiaoyu's actual doctor. And so he knows that the medicine that was given to him is something that he can, actually take. Or maybe medicine with, regular medicine from, for other types of, gender expressions are ineffective with him and don't work on him. I mean, that first scene in the very beginning at the first episode showed him trying to use a suppressant patch, but it not working. But that was still, even that was a custom suppressant patch that was created specifically for his Enigma pheromones. So that wasn't like an Omega suppressant patch, that he was using. He was using one that his R&D was trying to put together, and it didn't work. It only lasted for like an hour or something like that. And then they were working on a new version. So I don't know. I was at first I was like, maybe it's okay for him to take drugs for other types of gender expression and it doesn't matter for him. But now I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Biologically, medically, that doesn't make any sense. Or maybe he just doesn't give a fuck. He's like, I mean, it ain't gonna kill me immediately. So, here, this is what we doing. I will willingly take this shot of something that I have not verified medically needed and go to the hospital and just be sick for a few days just for the sake of seducing Xing Xiaoyu. I mean, Huang could just be thinking that, so fair enough. We already established that he doesn't really give a shit about anything except getting this man. So he will do and say and be literally anything to bamboozle this dude. So, fair enough. All right. I don't think I have too much else to say. I do think that the show overall, though, is a bit slow these last few episodes. I kind of need us to ramp this up. I feel like we're stretching the story out a little bit. And I need the next couple of episodes to have some really big moments and big reveals or something. Like I said, it's hard for me to truly invest in the main romance because half of it is fake. Obviously, we know that Huang has affection for, Xing Xiaoyu. I hesitate to call it love because it's what he thinks is love, sure. But I can't fully be invested because he doesn't know the real him, and he's not showing him the real him. So I can't. Both of the relationships actually are suffering from this, but I feel it more with the main couple because Huang is hiding every single thing about himself from Xing Xiaoyu. Whereas with Gaozu and Shenlan, even though Gaozu is hiding the fact that he's an Omega, every other part of his personality is the same. You know, like he's not hiding his personality traits or his nature or his anything else, like the fact that he has a sister. He's not hiding any of that. The only thing he's hiding is his gender, his secondary gender. That's it. Right? So while that's not good, and I certainly would want him to confess the truth before he starts a relationship with Jiang, it's not like he didn't change every single thing about himself in order to bamboozle Xing. You know, that's the difference. That's just how I feel about it. It's still a huge part that he needs to confess about, and find a way to move forward in their relationship on full and equal terms in that way. But it's not as pronounced as what's happening with Huang. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. So I definitely need something to happen in a couple of episodes of like, because we've had straight up like 6 episodes of Huang just lying to this man, and even Gao too. And we've had enough. This is enough. We're approaching the midpoint of this series. This series is only going to be like 16 episodes, so we're approaching the midpoint of the series, and I don't feel like we are going to hit a climax yet. Oh, let's talk about the fact that low-key he's been using his pheromones to fuck up Xing use pheromones like, and lure him and do all kinds of crazy shit to him, like messing up his ruts and turning them into heats, etc., etc. Oh man, that's so bad. I need this all to climax very soon. I'm hoping that we do it, if not the next episode, by episode 8. No later than episode 8. We need to have a bunch of fucking things revealed, the truth put out there, and then we need to move into the next phase. Because if we were considering this series to be a 3-act structure, we are well within the 2nd act right now. And we need to move this along. I guess maybe not well within. We're in the 2nd act, but before the 2nd act ends, we need to move this along. In terms of story structure. Although I guess it doesn't have to be a 3-act story structure, you know. That's just something sometimes people put in as a framework for storytelling, but it doesn't necessarily have to be one. But we are hitting the midpoint soon, and we need to have a shift in the story. We can't keep doing this to all the way to like episode 12 and then have only 4 episodes to resolve things. No, we need to do a little bit of a pickup here soon. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. All right. I think that's everything I want to say. I'll go ahead and leave it there. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Head on over to Patreon if you're interested in full-length or early access to this show as well as other shows. I have a ton of stuff over there now. I'm building my library up slowly but surely. There's even some Patreon exclusive stuff that I haven't put on YouTube yet, or maybe I never will because of copyright reasons. But check it out if you're interested. If not, stay right here, because I'm releasing another one next week. I'll see you guys then. Bye.
Baby, it's whatever. All this ever, but you long gone, it don't matter.